Hey, welcome to UK Wildcrafts. It's mid-October and I'm taking a walk in Wiltshire in one of my favourite spots for mushrooms. Almost straight away I find some parasols. It's been a really good year for parasols actually. I've been eating them for a few months now. I took a few and left the oldest ones. I did find some porcinis, but unfortunately they were too far gone. I will use older ones for dehydrating, but these were too old even for that. So I left these for the slugs. Next up, I found a few patches of Chanterelles. These have to be one of my favourite mushrooms to eat. They've got a good firm texture and a slightly sweet taste. There are several species of true Chanterelles and they're fairly easy to identify. The main one to avoid are the false Chanterelles, which is mildly toxic. Two of the main ID features to look for are if you cut a mushroom in half, the true Chanterelles will have a white flesh, whereas the false Chanterelles will usually have yellowish orange flesh, the same colour as the cap. Also, the true Chanterelles have shallow folds instead of gills, and the false Chanterelles will have gills. And also these true Chanterelles develop very wavy margins as they mature. I'll take about half of these Chanterelles and leave the smallest ones to grow. I also saw these earth balls. These are toxic, so not one for the basket, but they were some of the biggest earth balls I've seen. There were hundreds of these amethyst deceivers. They don't have much of a flavour, but I like to add them into food for their colour, especially with Chanterelles. The deep purple colour is a really nice contrast to the golden yellow of the Chanterelles. And then next up I went into a Douglas fir plantation, hoping to find these. These are bay boletes. They're similar to porcinis, though the texture of these isn't quite as good. However, I find they are a really good mushroom for dehydrating. I also found this cool double-capped bay. Alright, that will do for this walk. I'll get a few mils out of this, and now I'll take them home to clean and process. To clean the Chanterelles and amethyst deceivers, I just trim off the very bottom of the stem and brush off any dirt. The best way to cook chanterelles, and this goes for a lot of other mushrooms as well, is to heat a dry pan, so no oil or butter. Fry the mushrooms on a medium-high heat and they will release water, and then keep on heating until the mushrooms have reabsorbed the liquid. Then you can add in a knob of butter and maybe some garlic, and the mushrooms will absorb that butter as well. Keep on frying on a medium-high heat until the mushrooms have browned, and then add a pinch of salt and they're ready to go. My favourite use of these is with scrambled egg on sourdough. Or just on their own on sourdough, maybe with some creme fraiche. For the bay boletes, again I trim off the end of the stem and clean them with a brush. You definitely don't want to wash them as they will soak up the water. I'm going to be dehydrating these, so I separated the cap and stem and then thinly sliced them. Then I spaced them out on racks and dehydrated for a few hours at 60 degrees Celsius. If they're stored in jars, these will keep for years. I usually have several different dried mushrooms, such as wood ears, boletes, or oyster mushrooms. They're great added into soups and risottos, or ground into a stock powder. The parasols are used in a few stir fries. I just pan fry the sliced parasols in garlic and butter. I love stir fries, they're such a quick and healthy meal. And with this one I added a bit of hareberry ketchup and sriracha. Parasols are good pan fried for a quick meal, but there's actually better ways of cooking them. One of my favourites is baking them with mozzarella and tomato. I did a video on that recently, I'll leave a link in the description. They're also really good breaded and deep fried.